You are now listening to the podcast for geeks and the stuff they love, where each week we'll talk about everything from anime to movies, games, and prop collecting with the people who create and love it. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Vince.
I'm James.
And this is your Geek Fix.
I'm Jeremy. I'm Vinz. And I'm James. And this is your Geek Fix podcast.
There you go.
Yep, I remember recording that.
Yeah. So that was my voice sounds so much better in there. That was actually something that Vince sent to us quite a while ago. Actually, I didn't look on the date on it, but at the same time, this was created using a service that is called Riffusion, which is an AI service, and it's free, which I like that. And what it does is it will you can even just put in like a basic topic, so you can put in some like talking points of things that you like, or things that you're interested in, or some idea about a song, and it will create the lyrics and then create the music and even creates a cover for you, or you can put in lyrics and then have it sing those lyrics for you, and in all sorts of different styles. So just give you an example. I'll give you. I did 4 songs here for some quick examples. This first one, I wanted to do a kind of a romantic song, like something that you would sing if for people that naturally geeks do get with other geeks, but at the same time you might have some different likes. Like maybe one person likes Star Wars, one person likes Star Trek. One person's more Fallout, one person's more Doom or something, whatever it might be. So here's my song for that.
We'll have a Star Trek wedding and a Star Wars honeymoon. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's that song.
That was lovely.
You like that one? And then,
yeah.
I also wrote one because along the lines of Star Wars, of course. Everyone has their own opinion about how things are going with Star. They titled this automatically "Star Wars Blues."
Is it just me, or does the new Star Wars stuff suck? I think so. I think so. I think so.
That's my favorite because it's very catchy. And then this one right here is about Batman and Iron Man, because I always thought Batman and Iron Man were pretty similar. And so
both self-made men with more money than they know what to do with.
Right? Yeah, they self-titled this one "Money the Hero."
Iron Man was like Batman. No superpowers. The only thing he had to fight evil was money. And a lot of it.
There you go. And then, of course, my final one. I know that our channel has some individuals out there who have should be proud of their own interest.
I am proud to be a brony. Pinkie Pie ain't no ordinary pony. I like to eat and cry macaroni. I am a brony. I'm a brony.
I like to eat equine macaroni. Is my favorite line from that one. But anyway, so naturally, I mean, we want you to share things that if you go into this, it is a free service, and we put it on the community page along with the invitation for people to make their own music. Because I knew people would say, which even with this, I've already had responses from people saying, I'm not musically inclined, whatever stuff. You don't have to be to create something. We just want to hear some things that are interesting or funny, because there's not geeky music out there. There's not really a lot of geeky music outside of Weird Al and stuff like that. So want to hear some clips of some things that you guys come up with and submit them to us. Again, no, you can't have really bad swear words or anything that's sexual or something that's inappropriate. But on the flip side, keep it somewhat clean. And on the flip side, if you are also musically inclined, like you actually write music, or you've already created some nerdy, geeky themed music, we also want to hear that, because that would be great. We'll share that on, or if you do a music video or something, whatever you want to do, send that to us over this next month. And then next month when we do recording, we'll check them out, and maybe I'll even come up with an award for the person, for one of the people or for a few of the people that kind of come up with the best one. We'll have you guys all vote on it or something like that. We'll kind of refine this more as we talk about it. But I'm excited about hearing again. We want to share things. Yeah.
And fun sort of music. I mean, we could try different categories, like if we want more serious note, if we want like a make us laugh sort of thing.
Absolutely. In fact, you know what? I'll make it one step easier too. Let me show how to do one of these.
Are they sort of like 15-second things, or?
You know, I've tried pushing limits. So I think if you, I don't know if a paid version or something would be longer, but I think it's also just what the AI is able to generate is kind of that length on its own. So it also will tell you when it says something like if it's getting too long. So we'll do one in here. So here's some other ones that we tried doing, for example. But what you do is just get in there, riffusion, and you click. So I'm going to click create, and we can try either typing some lyrics, which we could do, or in this case, so that's what I did with the ones that you just heard. I wrote in the lyrics, and then it came up with the song. But let's try letting it write the lyrics. We're just going to come up with some topics. So give me some topics, James.
I think competition.
Competition?
Yep. I think geek or geeky. I think prize money.
What'd you say? Red money?
Prize money.
Oh, prize money. Prize money, okay.
I think techno. Well, I guess that might be described as
techno style? Oh, that comes up next. Like, is there geeky theme?
We could do. Oh. Well, because of the riffs from a moment ago, the only thing that was on my mind is like Star Wars stuff. But I want to do something different.
I didn't do a Fallout thing. Should I do a Fallout thing?
Sure,
That's always a large part of our audience. Fallout.
We could specify Pit Boy maybe, just to like make sure that he gets the right Fallout.
Right.
We could do apocalyptic or apocalypse.
I'm misspelling apocalypse. Okay.
Then we could do nuclear.
Okay. All right.
Let's
say write the lyrics. Yeah. So we click write lyrics. And now it says competition, geeky, prize money, Fallout. Didn't do too much with those lyrics. Let's try it again here. Write lyrics.
No.
Wasteland warriors searching for a hero. Clouds. Here's Cloud. Oh, there you go. Oh, I see what it did. Okay. It did make some rhyming stuff. What type of genre you said? You want techno?
Yeah, sure.
Techno? Is that how you spell techno?
Yeah, techno and what about slow techno? I think that might be fun.
What is it?
Slow techno, like a slow dance sort of thing.
Oh, slow? Okay. Male, female?
Female.
Female? All right. Let's try it with that. Here we go. So now it usually creates three songs at a time. And what you're going to see.
Wasteland Rave. I like that.
Oh, yeah. Check that out. And then see, these are the covers. It's kind of cool. That looks very Fallout-ish. Let's start with that one.
Competition geeky, prize money Fallout. The Pipperies in apocalyptic nuclear bout. Wasteland warriors searching for a hero's cloud.
It sounds like
I said techno, not robotic.
Yeah.
Competition geeky, prize money Fallout.
Maybe that's what I was thinking was.
Competition geeky, prize money Fallout. The Pipley leads in an apocalyptic nuclear bout. Wasteland warriors searching for a hero's cloud.
There you go. Okay, so I can also click remix right here, and then there's our words, but now I can also change it up. So I could change that to. We could change it to rock or rap.
Sure.
Let's see. And now maybe I'll make it male too. And then we go, or actually I could leave that off. Let's just do rock. Well, here, give me a bunch of Fallout things.
Fallout, America.
Pip-Boy again.
Yeah, Pip-Boy. Nuclear bomb, or atom bomb, if you want to be more specific.
What about some different other things? So we've got
Mr. Handy.
Oh yeah, Mr. My Handy, Mr.
Or dog
Handy,
meat.
or what?
Dog meat.
Oh yeah, dog meat. I met dog meat at the
Oh yeah.
somebody's. Yeah, they look just like him too. Yeah, he had he even had on. They put a little whatever you call it, that attaches to the strap so they could walk him. Like a little vest thing that they put on him.
Jeez, I can't think of the word.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah,
Handy dog
I know
meat.
what you mean.
Yeah, 76 or Vault.
Vault might be a good one, yeah. And you could put good springs in that.
Okay. And give me some classic one-liners from Fallout. So you got War
Never changes.
never changes. I don't know. Actually, that might be good. Those might be pretty good. Let's try the rock on that one. That should be good enough. Okay, here we go. So, I didn't redo the lyrics though. So it's
No, that's going to be a very literal.
Yeah, gonna be too exact.
Nuclear nights in good springs.
Oh, look at that! Oh, look, there's a Pip-Boy. Kind of. Fallout
That
New
is.
Vegas and me.
Fallout New Vegas, America, Pip-Boy Nuclear. It's a handy dog meat, Vault, Good Springs. War never changes.
Oh, that was pretty good actually.
That.
If he would have repeated "War Never Changes" again, it would have been perfect.
Fallout New Vegas, America,
Wait, when they
Pip-Boy
cheered at the
Nuclear.
beginning, this sounds like it's stand-up or something.
There is handy dog meat, Vault, Good Springs. What?
The third one's winning at the moment.
Fallout New Vegas, America,
Yeah, I think. Here, we'll try one last thing with this here. Let's go. Yeah, write lyrics from it. Here it goes. War never changes in my blood and my soul. World torn apart by ways untold. Holy cow. Let's go for that one.
They got rid of everything else.
It did. It's like, this is good enough. I think it does like full lines then. So you need to put in a sentence. Oh, yeah.
Blood-stained
dang.
walls.
So look kind of intense. All right.
War never changes. In my blood and in my soul, the world torn apart by ways untold. War never changes. In my blood and in my soul, a world torn apart by ways untold.
That one's pretty good. All right.
Hey! War never changes. In my blood and in my soul, a world torn apart by ways untold.
Okay. Okay.
That's not too shabby. So there you go. That's our invitation to you, is to send us some of that stuff. But
and you can
yeah.
see right now how easy it is.
Are you going to create some songs for us, James, too?
I'll give it a go, yeah. I'll put
Give it a go.
stuff in,
Okay, so
in
next
the
time,
comments.
next month, James is bringing it to the table too. We'll each create something also to submit with you guys. Ours won't count though for the prizes if we give out prizes, but at the same time, we attached this to kind of a short topic, but one that's kind of important. That I was also thinking about the other day, but it's come up for us even recently and stuff. I won't get into too much on it, but at the same time, also making this, I cannot take this to a conference now. Can you tell me why?
I would say it has something to do with the shape.
Yeah. So it looks like a gun. That can be one piece of it. You can just be like, well, it looks like a toy gun, so not too much of a problem. The biggest issue is if I take this to a con, this hole is going to be a problem. So the second I drilled that hole, it's
You
something
need
that
like
became
a
a problem
red
for me.
tip or something.
You could, most so most countries and most states. I'm losing my voice. Most countries and states have rules about, at least for toys and things, they have to have an orange, specifically. An orange. There's even a name for the color orange plug that's in the end. Which, if you ever saw my what's the name of that gun? The rifle from Fallout.
That's what rifle.
At any rate, yeah. What's the short version of it?
Oh, the plasma pistol. Or
Yeah.
Or the laser pistol. If you're talking about
laser pistol. That's the one. That's the one I got. Yeah. Okay. So when I did that, you'll see at the end, I never altered the end of it because I did want to use it at cons, and it came already with the correct orange plug, which actually matches the game anyways. But at the same time, that has to be on there. So most conferences, when you go there, the first thing they do when you do check-in, you then go where they kind of look over your outfit, and so they'll make you zip tie things. So, for example, even if I take a water gun, for example, to a conference, a lot of them will actually require that you pull in the trigger and then it zip ties that trigger tight.
Oh, right.
It's one thing. Or if you have a sword or something, they'll have you tie something on it. They'll let you take it out to be able to take a picture with people, but at the same time, like, it has to be on there. It's basically to prevent people from doing things. I think, I don't know if I still have the video. I'd have to get Logan's permission, but my son went to a conference one year where he was in the booth area, where all the merchants are, and suddenly this guy started. There was a big argument between one of the sellers and just some random guy, and the guy looks like it's almost exactly like comic book guy. Like, he looks like somebody that you'd expect to be kind of, very, very nerdy about whatever it is. But he started making comments about, I will use this and that to get you, talking about powers and things. But then he pulls up his pant leg and he had a knife duct taped to his leg.
Oh.
And he went to get it. Luckily, it was duct taped to his leg like too much to the point he couldn't get it out. But at the same time, it's very obvious they had to bring in security, to get the guy and stuff. I mean, things can happen. And so for that reason, naturally, conferences have to be careful. And on the flip side, the reason why I was able to take this last year to the New Vegas event, this one, not the other one that had the working parts in it, even though it has the hole in the end, is because the New Vegas event's done a little bit differently. It's just kind of people that are gathered in a public space. But on the flip side, I mean, you also want to be a little bit careful. I mean, I saw a lot of weapons. In fact, some of those weapons were real weapons. But I mean, everything is different, but you got to keep in mind when you're making a prop that you have to make it appropriate for what you're planning to use it for. Vinz always refers to the fact that, also there's a difference between the movie or fictional world and then the true actual prop that they use to film. A lot of times the prop that they use to film, you won't want to replicate because it doesn't look that great and it doesn't do half the things it does. Do I want to make one that looks like the actual prop, or do I want to make one that looks like the world, item kind of thing? Make it work like it does in there. But this is another restriction that I always have to consider is if I want to take it to show it off or to do something. I'm trying to hook up right now actually to go to Kansas to hang out briefly with Adam Savage, and I was planning on taking a couple of my props with me down there, but I also have to get this into the conference because that's where we'd be meeting. And the issue is all the stuff I kept on thinking about taking in there. I wonder if I'm going to be able to get it in there if I did take it with me. So I might have to create something specific or special just for that. I was thinking about taking the retractable lightsaber actually, but on the flip side, I mean, these are things that I've been in communication a lot lately because of like we shared recently, like a lot of people are now finally sharing some of the stuff that they're building. And as you're writing me about some of your things that you're doing, there's also disappointment because they want to take it somewhere now and they can't. And so being creative about how you create something so that it could go into multiple environments. Or something I also thought about when I did the New Vegas still, but I honestly just ran out of time. I just didn't plan very well for it. Is the truth. It's all on me. But on the flip side, I thought with the Pip-Boy, the thing I could have done, because I had the new one that I was building, is I could have made it kind of like yours, either A, like yours, where I could take the phone out, like James's, completely, even after it's assembled, and then just send each part through, and I could take the wires off even temporarily, because that's part of what got me was the wires. But or where I take the whole thing apart even, because that's another sneaky way to do it. They sound like, even as I'm describing them, I hate describing it this way, because I also feel like there's bad people out there that can do these same things for nefarious reasons. And I'm talking about doing them for good reasons. But at the same time, I mean, like something that you kind of have to consider in advance. I used to live in a town in California called Visalia, and they had this park where they had a house that was a Russian home from this one part of Russia. And the idea behind it was that this home could be disassembled, because they had, back in the day, way back in the day, they would have the tax collectors come around, and they would force you to pay on the spot based on what you had on land. And so your land became more worthless if you didn't have a house on it. So the house was constructed with these stones in such a way that you could easily take the whole thing apart. So it just becomes a bunch of scattered stones around your field, and a stack of wood. And then you could easily, within the same day, so because also you didn't know until they were coming until the last second. So they're on their way there quickly, your family being able to disassemble your house into the field and then reassemble the whole thing is kind of cool. But at the same time, I mean, like, I feel like you could also technically do that with props, but you have to be thinking in advance of how it's assembled. And so, I mean, it's half that creativity of not just how do I make a prop and make it work or make it cool and displayable, but also what do I plan to do with it in the future, and how can I make it
modular so it's easy to transport? And
yeah, but it's a puzzle in and of itself. And so I would be curious to know some ways that some of you have done this, or if you've been thinking ahead on some of these factors and how you kind of get around it. Because it's something that you do need to consider. It'd be a sad thing, and I've seen it. I mean, probably most of us have seen it. If you've ever gone to there and you get to that table where they're screening all your stuff and they're tagging it and things like that at the conference, you'll always see people getting turned away, and they're like, but I made this giant sword out of foam and it took me 6 years. And they're like, sorry, can't bring it in. Because it's not made with foam. Sorry, it's made with plastic, or there's metal pieces that are on it that aren't allowed. So, you can pretty easily find out what some of the rules and regulations are, or some of the tricks. It's also very different. I mean, so like here in the U.S., I can easily have something that looks like you got to be careful still, but I can easily have something that looks like a firearm, and keep it and have it and take it places. And other areas you can't. It's weird though, because at the same time I think back to when I talked to Chris Bernardo. He told me about he came to the U.S. and he bought this prop. It was a prop gun, and it had what looked like real bullets too that go into it, or were they? No, they were real bullets, but they had the ends were they were drilled out, and so. But then he took him to the airport, and in the U.S., when he got to the airport, the TSA was like, "What are you doing with this? This gun?" And he's like, "Well, it's a prop. It's not really a gun." They picked it up, all the bullets fell out, and he started to reach for the gun and stuff. I mean, things could have gotten really bad. But then he got to the UK, where they have very strict rules about firearms and things like that. And he got there and he expected them to react more. And so they were just like, yeah, that's fine. And just passed it right through. I mean, you never know.
I have a similar-ish story. So when Vinz and I were over in the UK for recording the whole prop store stuff, I made the most of the trip and I went to a shooting range, like for the first time ever. and I wanted to come back with like a keepsake, like one of the empty shells from one of the bullets that I personally shot. And while I was there, they told me that it might be a dangerous thing to take to the airport, like anything weapon related, they might have an issue with. And so I thought, I'm going to try and risk it. I'm going to see what they do. I got to security, and it was sort of like eating at the back of my mind, like, what if they delay me because of this? What if I get in trouble? What if whatever? And so I had a Ziploc bag, which had, I think, 2 or 3 like empty shells. So no bullet, no gunpowder, just like pure metal. And I showed it to the guy and I said, I want you to see this. This is like 3 empty shells. There's nothing in here that could cause any type of damage. It's just plain metal. And he had to call the supervisor because he said, I'm not trained enough to deal with this. And I said, that's fine. He called the supervisor. I explained the situation to him. I said, look, I don't want to cause any trouble. That's why I'm telling you this like in advance. But I have this. I would love to keep this because this is an important keepsake to me. But I understand that you guys might think that this is dangerous, even though you can see it's just metal. Like, there's nothing in here that could cause damage. And they made me throw it out. So, like, you're saying that the UK was a bit more lax in that sense, or at least for Chris. In my experience, they were not.
Right. Well, and it's tricky because, I mean, even like with my case, they can dispose of it as one end. They can also destroy some things. The whole, I mean, and we kind of told this story a little bit, but and by this time, hopefully the video came out so you can actually see the New Vegas video. But, when I tried, I think half of it was I took too many things. I sometimes I've wondered if I tried to only sneak through my 2000 Pip-Boy and only one of the Nuka-Cola guns, if it would have gone through. The things that stood out to them is, number one, I had 2 guns that looked completely different on the inside. So one had very minimal wires that just go to a speaker and some batteries. The other one had like hoses and wires and stuff like that. And you can't take water guns on the plane as carry-on. You can take them, you can send them through in your luggage if you're going to check a bag, but I didn't check a bag because I hadn't purchased that. I knew I had it in the back of my mind that I could. But then the other problem with checking a bag, which I thought would also work maybe for the Pip-Boy, is that when you check it, they still go through the same process. So they're still going to go through an x-ray machine. And if they pull it, either A, you're not going to see your bag on the other side, or if they think it is like in this case, the B word, it had come, it was being snuck through, that they would be taking it out on the tarmac and blowing it up, be on the news. That's why I didn't try checking it. It was like either I get it on this way, where I can maybe hopefully get somebody that knows the game and will be like, oh yeah, that's just a prop, and let it go through, which nobody did somehow. Or I could always then walk it back outside. So, because this is a small airport, literally I could walk it out to my car, which I did, and left it all in my car, and then walked back in and checked in again. In a big airport, and you're running down on time, like you're gonna have to pick between your prop and flying where you need to go, because they're not going to give you that option. They're going to be literally like, yeah, get rid of this. That was something else interesting. When I came back from Vegas, and I'm trying to put this into the video, I just couldn't figure out where to put it, is they did this weird TSA thing. I didn't have to take off my shoes or anything. I didn't have to open up any of my stuff. Didn't have to take it out. Instead, what they had us do is they took everyone in a long line, which went pretty fast, is you go up to this point, and then they say you got to walk straight, don't stop walking, and walk to the other end. And there's fans on the other side. There's 2 fans that are pointing at you. And as they walk you, as you're walking across, then a guy with a police dog walks twice behind you, a drug dog, or bomb dog, or whatever he is, and walks twice. So the fans are like blowing your scent, I guess, toward the dog. And I filmed several people going through, walking in 2s, and having this dog walk back and forth behind them and stuff. Never had that happen before, but it was the fastest process I think I've ever had. Maybe my props would have made it back through there. I was so worried about having it happen in Vegas, where I wouldn't be able to keep my props, that I sent it home with my son, and so I could pick it up when I went to visit later on. So I went back with very minimal luggage anyways, but yeah.
It's weird though that they didn't check, like, if they didn't have an actual look through your luggage. Like, but even though they were doing this like 2-in-2 sniff thing, did they not put your machine like through an X-ray machine?
Well, they still had us put it on the, so we did still put our luggage on the thing to go through.
Oh, right.
But, normally you have to take out all sorts of items. So I didn't have to take out any liquids. I didn't have to take out my computer. Like, literally, we just took our bags, put them on the thing, it scanned it, and I was done. And no taking off the shoes or anything like that, or my belt. Like, it was just boom, boom, boom. And of course, they also, this location also X-rays you. So it's the one where you have to stand like this, and they get pictures of you, everything. And then the screen's always pointing somewhere where everyone can see it. Oh, here's the best part. I don't know if I want to share this or not. I get through the X-ray. I think this was for Vegas. I get through the X-ray, and the guy's like, "Oh, I gotta check out one other thing." And he comes up to me and to feel my stomach, which I'll admit, I gained a little bit of weight in November. Not much, but at the same time, I don't feel like I'm a big guy. But he's like, "Oh, that's all real." Then he let me go. It's like, I just want to make you feel bad real quick, and then he let me go from there. But at any rate, yeah. So that was fun. But at any rate, yeah. Let us know about your creative ideas of how you send your props to things. Do you mail them, or do you actually think out a way that you can be able to have your props be transformed based on the settings that you're in? Let us know.
Let us know about your weirdest TSA experiences as well.
Yeah. Nothing too extreme though. If you've enjoyed this podcast and want more, stay tuned for that. But also check out our channel. Join the community on YouTube that goes by the same name, Your Geek Fix. Be sure to check out Vinz on Twitter at massivedmg_ and on his YouTube channel, massivedmg. Check out James at Mr. Malto4 on Instagram and the Replica Prop Forum. We also want to hear from you, so be sure to send your questions, stories, and other projects to yourgeekfix@gmail.com. In the meantime, this has been Your Geek Fix.